Thank you for tennis volley talk today. Now, today I'm going to be doing a phone interview, and today I'm going to be doing an interview with actually somebody that played on the tour for about 10 years, from 82 to 92. He achieved a career high of number 7 in 1988. Actually won 12 AT Tour titles, and then earned a silver medal in the Seoul Olympics in '88, only to cat the smooth mover, Mislav Mashir. Today, welcome to my tennis podcast, Tennis Volley Talk, Tim Mayotte. How are you doing?
Hi, Brian. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, hey, it's always a pleasure being able to get who I can. And I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've really loved the realm of being able to do the research and being able to try to get the people that I have so far. So it's been a fun thing to do for me in starting and having my podcast for 4 years now. So anyway, kind of the thing is did you, as you grew up in from Massachusetts, and when you were younger and growing up, were you an athlete and played other sports? And then what kind of got you doing tennis? Did you kind of hit the, and you just kind of knew then that, hey, I like this. I have the ability to hit the ball. Or did you kind of do it like I did, kind of like grew up with the old guys on the tennis court that you just kept hitting and hitting until it just kind of came natural to you?
Well, it's a little of both. I think I remember as a 10-year-old, I used to practice my autograph. And I told a friend that I was going to be a professional athlete. And he said, no chance, no way. And somehow I knew that I was a good athlete. The other thing that was very impactful was that I basically grew up in what I would call a tennis academy, in the sense that I was the youngest of 8 children. 2 other guys, 2 brothers, played on the pro tour. And my sister Mary was really quite a good player. So tennis was, I loved baseball as well, but tennis was the family sport.
Okay.
So ever since I was as young as I can remember, I was playing. And I'd be, of course, trying to catch up to my brothers who were 11 years older and 3 years older. And so, and then also that was the tennis boom.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had to figure out a way to pay for 8 kids to go to college. And he had the idea that the tennis scholarship was the cheapest way to get that done. So he was quite old school, and he really pushed us into the sport, but obviously it turned out to be a joy. So it, I had all the built-in advantages right now that you usually have to go look for, which is court availability, practice card availability, coaching availability, all in-house.
And also the sibling rivalry that you always strive to get better than your siblings. So that kind of helped too.
That's a huge part of it. And you're really just desperate to, I remember one time my brother Chris, who got to 79 in the world, he won 3 doubles titles, 79 singles. And I remember, I think I was about 13, and I was not playing much at that point. I was quite good as a 10-year-old, but he said, I don't want to practice with Tim. And that got me so mad that I started practicing again really hard.
And that was all it was. And with me, I'm an only child, so I kind of grew up. Once the tennis bug hit me, I kind of started a little later in life, though, during junior high. And once I discovered it, it was on the high school court with 2 of my other friends. And then I went to then discovered the high school courts, which were the good old white cement, yellow painted lines, and the chain link fence for a net. So you kind of learned how to hit the ball on the rise quite a bit. But of course, being young and thinking that you could take these old guys on, boy, did we learn something quick. those guys knew how to hit the ball and angle the ball where we couldn't get it. So that was the fun thing of learning and trying how to play those guys through the years myself.
Yeah, we had a local park that was actually quite beautiful, elegant. It had red clay courts, but it had almost seemingly limitless number of very wily senior players, and you had to try to figure out how to beat them, including my dad, who was a great athlete, not a great tennis player, but a great athlete with spins and chops, and he and his buddies, provided great competition for when I was 11 and 12 and 13. And I try to get my juniors, I teach tennis, and I try to get my juniors to play against those very clever folks. They seem to resist it a lot, which drives me crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
But I think they need to be out there. Actually, I was doing a clinic the other day, and a 11-year-old, 10-year-old, quite good technique, really going to be good players. But a 31-year-old came out, joined in, and of course had unconventional strokes, was sort of a beginner, but a good athlete. And it was a real wonderful opportunity for those kids to play against an unorthodox player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What a learning experience for them to do something like that too. As far as that goes, but with that too, with that the scholarship that your dad kind of got you into and did that, you then ended up going and ended up playing at Stanford University and winning the NCAA title in '81 then too, which is a very good accomplishment.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to become one of the long list of very good players, even some great ones out of Stanford, under the most amazing coach of all time, Dick Gould, who won 17 national titles, team titles. Yeah. Gould is it's a hot topic with us now. We tried to get him into the International Tennis Hall of Fame, which is where I think he belongs, but he didn't make the first cut. But so on my recruiting trip, I went out and saw John McEnroe, who was at that point 12 in the world at Stanford, play Elliot Telcher, who was who was 35 in the world. And so when I stepped in at Stanford, it was just the luckiest landing spot in the world. Great coach, great competition, and I did manage to grow my game there. And we won the team title twice. I won the singles. It was just, we were very fortunate.
Oh, sure.
So just I managed to get a pretty good education along the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that makes it well worth it. And then stepping into the pro tour when you did. Did you start out when you started playing and hitting the ball? And as you will see, and as if you look at and watch this podcast, you'll see in the background, I have several older rackets in the background. The old wood rackets. But some of those, did you start out with the wood racket? And I know that you kind of graduated into then the red head, the aluminum one that was a hammer. And then from there, you kind of went into, as they got newer technique or technology, then you kind of got into the more of the graphite and composite rackets later on.
Yeah, in so many ways, I was part of a bridge culture, both in the technology, but also in technique. But I started with there's no small rackets back then. I had as an 8-year-old, I had a 12 or 13 ounce Jack Kramer.
Oh, there you go.
With a 4 5/8 grip.
Oh my God.
And that's the racket that was in the closet, so I picked it up and started hitting a few, and that was wood. And then I did switch over to the red head, which was a great racket.
Oh,
but then when I was in college, the Prince came out, and took a couple of years before that was really the Prince, and then the bigger growth in the tech and the racket evolution was the graphite Prince, which really changed the game, because that graphite offered the stability on off-center hits. And really, rackets have not progressed much since then. Strings have changed a tremendous amount, but the graphite Prince was the first real modern racket.
Oh, sure.
So at that point, all the companies started to put out oversized graphite rackets.
Yeah. And with that, and I've actually hit with the redhead myself, and it's a sledgehammer.
I know, I love that thing. And it's what I do with my younger students is, if their footwork is lazy, I force them to play with a old style wood racket.
Yeah.
And their footwork has to get much better.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of skill to hit the ball in the center of in the sweet spot. And I've had a couple of one kid recently, and then unfortunately, as soon as I gave back his regular racket, his footwork went terrible again.
Oh no, went to the lazy footwork or whatever.
Yeah, the wood was, just such a different era.
Oh sure. Oh absolutely. And then with that too, because I was doing an interview with and I didn't really see the concept, because I kind of grew up in old school, probably, as you. I've been playing 50 years myself. But with that, I kind of grew up in the old school in a way of like, okay, like bring the racket back sideways, like you're standing on the skateboard, and then you come through and hit that racket or hit the ball and come through. And then you're going to get that and all that in the old style. But then I was actually doing an interview and kind of looked and was watching, and it kind of made sense. I was talking to Jack Brody not too long ago. And
he's great.
And he was giving the concept of, the other way of hitting it that brings the ball into your hitting zone in a lot easier way at the 45-degree angle. And I went, boy, why didn't I see that before?
Jack's a very innovative teacher.
Oh, he is. And then I've been putting it through the implement of doing that. And lately it's been getting a little better with finding that spot to be able to hit the ball like I do. And it brings it right into the spot. And then whenever I kind of shank it wide or hit it into the net, I go, oh, I felt I went over that 45-degree angle. I didn't keep it at that. So it just makes it so much easier that way too.
Yeah. Well, the teaching is really improving, and he's one of the leaders in that fashion.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, then you've had the opportunity. With that opportunity, you've had the chance to be able to go and play. Now, were you playing at the West Side at the time when you grew up, and they were playing the U.S. Open at the West Side Tennis Club over in Forest Hills?
The first year I played the Open qualifying, actually, it was the first year at Flushing Meadow.
Oh, okay. The first year at Flushing.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So that was a big change. The first 2 years, I think, I can't remember if I qualified or not, but I played 1978 first year. God, that place was a concrete jungle back in the day.
Oh,
the USTA has done an amazing job renovating it, but it was all bare bones back then.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
But I remember my first match, I was in the qualifying. Of course, there was no money in the qualifying back then, and I'm warming up, and this guy rolls up his grill and starts cooking burgers right next to my court. The smoke's coming over. I can't see the ball.
Oh, no.
And it was so different than I've actually played a bunch at Forest Hills, and this is a completely different atmosphere.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And I've had the opportunity. I was lucky in 24 that I did interview one of the historian gals that do this history for Westside Tennis Club. And then I came to New York and I went to the US Open Fan Appreciation Week, which was fun. And then I told her I was there. So she brought me in and she showed me Forest Hills, the Westside Tennis Club, and showed me Bud Collins' library and had lunch and saw some gentlemen's doubles going on, all in white, of course, playing on the grass.
Yeah.
And the white balls. They were using white balls too.
Yeah, I'm a member at another very historic club, the Longwood Cricket Club here in Boston.
Oh, sure.
And we actually have a Bud Collins library too, but because Bud was a member. But it's that old vibe where it's grass for the most part. It's everyone wears white, and it's just like walking back in time.
Oh yeah.
But it's so fun to be a part of that kind of atmosphere. It still is. Obviously, Wimbledon's the one place that has managed to merge the modern and the historic.
Oh, absolutely, they have, and with that too, I was able to see a Ultimate Tennis Showdown match too that Gael Monfils won at the time.
Oh wow!
That just
nice.
And I was able to see Sabalenka practice then, and Djokovic and Zverev, and which was so absolutely just mind-boggling, because here I am, Fan Appreciation Week, and you get in free, and it's
great.
And it is so wonderful to be able to see those guys play, and then being able to go to that event at the classic, rich history of that stadium at Forest Hills is just amazing in itself.
So many great rock concerts there too over the years.
That's what I've heard, and that's what she said they kind of use it for too, as far as a supplement to whatever. But it was just such a joy to be able to see that, seeing Gial, and I saw Demur, I saw Rublev, I saw Bublik, and I saw all of those guys and hitting and playing, and Humbert. So I kind of know it was just such an experience for me to do with that. So it just was what for a tennis player like me, that it was like, wow, this is just unbelievable. And to be able to live in that experience, and then learning the subway system wasn't too bad, as long as you know where the 7 train is. So
gotta have the 7 train.
Yeah, you do.
I lived in New York City for 20 years, so I know from the 7 train.
Oh yeah. So, and then it was pretty easy, because I flew into LaGuardia, took the bus to the subway, hit the 7, boom, and then I was at a hostel in Brooklyn within half hour, about 45 minutes, and then I was at a little hostel.
If you know what you're doing in New York, it's a great place.
Oh, it is. It really is. With that. So all you YouTubers out there, just be sure and like and subscribe and comment on my Tennis Volley Talk. And then also you podcasters out there, you're going to be hearing about.
Hit that button.
Yeah, hit that button. Hit that like button. And then you podcasters out there, you're going to be hearing about. And if you want to take a look at the racket of the week that I'll be showing here, you will be seeing that. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on Tennis Volley Talk, and you'll be able to see that racket if you want to take a look at it on Tennis Volley Talk, my YouTube channel there. So with that too, you've had the opportunity, and also because you were a one-hander, weren't you? You weren't a two-hander.
Definitely the one-hander, which is one of the great losses to the game.
Yes.
And the one-handers are gone, because as you know, aesthetically it's still superior to the two-hander. But it is unfortunately it's an inferior stroke for almost all players, except for maybe a few.
Yeah.
But I grew up with a one-hander and was a serve volley player. So both of those things now are not in fashion.
Oh no, they aren't. There's always a pound and hit from the baseline and all of that. But you've also had the opportunity and played Sampras and Agassi and beat those guys, and which and amazing in itself to even like, wow, Sampras, he had the massive serve, and to be able to beat him, and Agassi too, hugging the baseline like he did and hitting the strokes that. But that's just such accomplishment to be able to play the guys that you did with that, and it just amazing in itself to know that happened, and you're kind of like, is this really happening? I did beat these guys.
Yeah. Well, you get good, and I was got very confident, and put the work in, and my game developed around the conditions then, which were much faster and much lower bouncing the courts. And really, the big thing that the guys now have is the polyester strings. So
yes.
That's really changed the game. But no, I mean, I had a great career. I think I exceeded my expectations, and it was just a great run.
Oh,
really, it was exciting.
Absolutely.
Exciting time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tennis was great, because tennis was really one of the most popular sports. I mean, if we look back now at a lot of my matches, if you look at video, they're all on CBS or NBC, or we were being broadcast on the biggest networks. And so tennis, and at least in America, was more at the center of the sports conversation. So it was a great time to be a player in the States.
Oh, absolutely. And then and back then it was in the boom, and I was in the boom too, right as the beginning of it in the late 60s and right into 70s into the 80s. But then it kind of slacked off a little bit. Then you had Agassi, but then you had the big resurge was for the 10 years with the two. It's really begun to get more popular again with the tennis and with the players that are out there nowadays.
Yeah, and the USTA has done a good job trying to bring the availability of the sport back. So they're on a really good roll now with helping to restore courts and get more public tennis. And I actually think, people may disagree with me, but I think pickleball's been helpful for tennis, because it's getting more people out doing racket sports. And I think there's been a spillover. But also, no question, the big three, specific, more Federer, but it's always the, like back in the old days, it was Connors and Borg or whatever, and it just was. Yeah, we're so lucky to have those three guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Going at it, and then of course you got to throw in Murray and Wawrinka.
Oh, Wawrinka!
It's just so many amazing matches, just one after another. Sinner and Alcaraz are great, but people say, are they at that level? I mean, it's just, you got to think of. So Sinner has 5 slams, and so he's got to go 20 more. To beat Djokovic.
Yeah, to beat Djokovic. I know.
So, of course, I mean, obviously, Sinner's a great player. I mean, he's one of the greats.
He is.
But 20 more slams?
Yeah, 20 more.
It just gives you an idea how great Novak is. And Rafa, it's just, Rafa winning 14 Frenchies. I mean, this is just surreal. And it was such a great time. And so... the game it's so nice to see. I live here in Brookline, Massachusetts, and public courts are full all the time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That just makes our heart big that the tennis courts are full.
I'm actually after this, I'm going to go over and watch a high school tennis match.
Okay, good.
And those courts will be taken. So it's it's the greatest sport.
Oh, it is. And
amazing sport.
And I've actually had the opportunity. I actually played on grass tennis courts, one of 4 grass tennis courts. And it was up in, of all places, Baker City, Oregon. And the guy has built 4 grass tennis courts. And I was able to play a gentleman's double game for about 3 hours on one of those courts, and what a setup he has too.
Mm.
4 courts set
That's
up in the hill.
a
It
great
was
place to have grass too.
Oh, it just unbelievable. He saw
Yeah.
some in British Columbia, and then came back and says, I can do that. I can build some. So he built 2 and built 2 more, and then they have tennis tournaments for up in that area at those courts though too, and it's really set up nice. And then I've actually played at one of the court called the kind of the Field of Dreams court in Charles City, Iowa, up here, not too far away from me.
I've seen a bunch of articles about that court.
Yeah, and it's a really good court to play on. It's really pretty true bouncer too.
Yeah, it's you tell people I ask my students what's the name of tennis, the actual name,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't realize its actual name is lawn tennis.
Mm-hmm. Lawn tennis.
So they have a hard time understanding that this is where the game came from.
Mm-hmm.
And the British looking for something to do outside in the 1870s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's but when you get to play on grass, it's a special. And when I started, 3 of the 4 slams were on grass.
Oh my gosh, that is that is something.
The U.S. Open was grass, and I played the Australian Open, which was on grass.
Mm-hmm.
And what so different now.
Oh yeah,
Completely different.
As far as that goes. But having that opportunity to be in Australia, to be in France, to play the French Open, and all of that. But if you ever get through Minneapolis, there are actually 2 public green clay tennis courts here in Minneapolis that you can play on.
Oh, wonderful!
And it's open to the public, so it really makes it nice for any of the tennis players, and it's really well maintained. Also, and it still has the scorecards that you can do, and when you're done, you roll the court and sweep the court, and for the other people to play. But yeah, if you're ever here, you got two green clay tennis courts to hit on if you want.
My nephew lives in Minneapolis, so maybe I can make it up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just let me know, and you can show me a lot on how to hit the ball better than me. But yeah, that's a fun court to play on also with that, and with that too, I just I do this, just everybody like, subscribe, and comment for you YouTubers out there, you podcasters, you're going to see it now, kind of in commemoration of you, Tim. If you watch the podcast, you're going to see it, the racket of the week that I do. And it's in commemoration of you, a redhead tennis racket right here. Just for you to share. And it's really still in good shape. I've hit with it too. And boy, a club. And boy, if you hit.
I've got one in my closet.
There.
I have a Stan Smith Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I have a redhead. Mm-hmm. I have, of course, the T2000.
Yes.
Jimbo Connors racket.
Absolutely.
And so fun to have a hit with those.
Oh, it is. It just kind of brings you back, and it makes you concentrate a little bit more on how to get and hit the center of the strings that way. With having that kind of a racket, it makes you concentrate a little bit better too.
Oh, I know. I was watching a video last night of Sampras playing Lendl with wood rackets.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It was fun. It was fun. They were terrible.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of what? How did I shank that one? So,
but they both grew up with wood rackets.
Yeah.
They knew what it was. Yeah.
So, but yeah, this racket's still a really good racket. It has the probably back then, and when it was strung, it had like the 9, and the string job's still really tight in this racket too.
Oh,
and everything. It has a leather grip on it. This one's the head edge. It's a 4.5-inch grip. So still real good though too. Still really good shape though. And that was the first to utilize the aluminum making of the racket there too. And launched in about the 70s, and then it gained the popularity with not only the recreational players but also the more tournament veteran players too. As far as that goes.
Actually designed by Howard Head, who had used aluminum in skis. He was the first person to put aluminum in skis,
mm-hmm.
and then he used the aluminum racket. I mean, there were already steel rackets that one was developed. Actually, Henri Lacoste had developed the first metal racket back in the 30s, 1930s. But then, Howard Head, being a genius, he invented the Prince racket too, just for people who don't know.
Yeah.
And, he understood that aluminum was lighter and probably a better material for a racket than steel.
Yeah, and he was also an aeronautical engineer with kind of having that knowledge and going into that too. And then with the expansion of his with from the skis to the racket division in about 1968 is when he launched that.
Yeah.
And then, at about, and that's whenever, the rackets first appeared, like about 69 at the US Open with that then. And then, of course, then he sold it, the head over to AMF. And then, of course, one of the more, the tennis players that used the head AMF silver racket was Arthur Ashe that ended up winning against none other than Jimmy Connors too. So, with that, it just really something, to have that knowledge. And that's what I kind of like doing, is showing these rackets that I have, because they're preserved with me, and letting people know about the history of it too. And that just makes it so much better that way. So everybody just take a look at that. You podcasters out there, like, subscribe, comment. You YouTubers out there, like, subscribe, and comment on Tennis Volley Talk also with that. So also you yourself and how and why I kind of was getting a hold of you and trying to mesh this together with the interview is that you were in the Bank of Oklahoma tennis tournament back in the early 80s.
I remember that.
And you were playing doubles. Connors was in it for about 10 years. He won it a few times. And he was so good still. And I loved watching that too. But you were playing doubles at the time. And I can't remember who your doubles partner was, but I do have a couple of pictures of you, and you're just hitting your backhand there. As you will see, and you will see, and then it's you, and you're hitting your backhand, and then it has a picture of you at the net, and your doubles partner hitting the serve, and you're there at the net waiting for the shot there.
Yeah, that was a great. I remember Jack Timer was the promoter, and I don't remember the doubles. Probably was Tim Wilkinson, I would imagine.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
And that
was a great event.
Yeah, and then also with that, Trey Walke was one of the winners of that too, which is also a director of tennis, club right now. So
yeah, I know Trey's. I just talked to a friend who's at his club out there in California. So.
And with that too, what do you remember about Tulsa at the time? I mean, I did interview Jack Timer too, which was really a great interview and fun to talk to and kind of reminisce about the Bank of Oklahoma, because he was telling me that there should have been no reason to have these kind of pros that came through for a small event like that, but they did. And it was just amazing in itself to have all those players at a full-time tournament like that was.
Yeah, well, it's just, that's what's so great about tennis is it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Timer was a great developer. He actually, at that point, he was running a tournament up in Beaver Creek, Colorado, where he was building a bunch of condos. And so, if you get a person who loves the sport and is willing to put some money behind it, then you're going to get the best players in the world. And that's a little tougher to do now, but Timer ran a great event, and there's so many wonderful cities that tennis has taken to me over the years, but a lot of them in the Midwest. A lot of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, sure.
Indianapolis had a wonderful tournament. I played some of the smaller towns. I think at Des Moines, I played a smaller event there. I was just talking to a buddy who I played at Amarillo, Texas, Abilene, Texas. And so there was just so many fantastic places that where we got to play tennis out there.
Oh yeah, and especially in Texas area, because that's a big mecca for tennis courts too. And
yeah, it still is. I've been down to Austin, the Austin Tennis Academy, and of course my good friend Sammy Jamalva, who I play with on the tour. He's got a great club in downtown Houston. So that's the thing about the sport is it's as I tell my students, there's, except for soccer, maybe there's nothing as national and international as tennis.
No, that is true. Yeah, that is so true. With that too, but and like I'm saying though, if you happen to have if you happen to have emails or whatever, that I can send the email invite to anybody that from back then.
With those guys, I'll check with them in advance and then get back to you with emails with those folks that are okay, having their email sent out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because I do it for the kind of for the growth of my podcast, but then for the love of the history of it and learning the journey of the guys that paved the way for the people, the kids nowadays. So they don't know about that stuff and your adventures and how you got started. And it's just really turned into such a good grassroots tennis court or tennis podcast for me.
I owe it to my heroes, Stan Smith and Rod Laver and Ken Rosewall and John Newcomb. And so we all have people who came before us. And, those guys did it for nothing.
Oh, yeah. The Barnstormer, Barnstorm days. And
when I did podcasting, I had a great time with Barry McKay, who would tell me stories of what it was like to carry their own court around. And they were super. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you watch the podcast or this episode here, you'll see in the background I have the greatest show on earth from the Denver Tennis Club, and it has Gonzalez, Parker, Tilden, and Rogers. And courtside seats were a whole $2 back then.
Yeah, well, I got to hit with Pancho a bunch because he would come to my hometown of Springfield, Mass, and Spalding was making the rackets there, so he would come in town, and I got to hit with him a couple times.
Oh, that must have been a joy to be.
Yeah,
he must have had some smooth playing on his part too.
He was in his late 50s, but his serve was still monstrous. So.
Oh my goodness!
The guy was one of the best juniors in the world, but he was still hitting a heavy ball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with that too, was it kind of a little later, did you ever hit in WCT or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I got to the finals at Dallas actually.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I lost to Lendl in the finals. I beat Gomez and Vilander on the way. So that was a big thrill to be able to play there.
Yeah, and I remember I was there too, and I got to see the likes of Borg and Vilas, and that was in 76. And then in 78, I got to see the late, great Vitas Gerulaitis, which was such a smooth player and such a great... He was ending up, before that tragedy, was ending up being such a good commentator for tennis because he made it enjoyable.
I thought he was the best commentator. I loved him.
Oh, he did, because he made it enjoyable. He was knowledgeable, but he did it with a good flair to it too.
I know. Sadly, now we have to listen to John McEnroe.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and with that too, it was so wonderful because he ended up beating Eddie Dibbs in the final. But with that too, I've had opportunity to have pictures, and I do have a picture of him holding up Vitas holding up the WCT trophy, and plus then looking over at him and smiling was his dad standing kind of close to him. So that was kind of a cool picture that I have still. Hello? You there?
Please leave your message for 917.
Okay, anyway, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, his phone, it got disconnected somehow. So anyway, we'll get together and we'll catch him on another time. But sorry about that. It was a very good interview with Tim Mayotte, former #7 in the world, and everybody out there, just like, subscribe, and comment on Tennis Volley Talk. And I'm so glad that I was able to do this. And then we'll everybody out there, still get out, start playing, start hitting that ball. If you're outside playing, get out in the elements and learn how to play in the wind and everything like that. So thank you again, and everybody have a great week. Thank you very much.